I'm keeping you safe. Experiencing pleasure right now could make you repeat risky actions or rely on things that might hurt you. So I'm shutting down the reward signals. Better to feel nothing than make a mistake. It may seem cruel, even wrong, but from my perspective, muted emotions are survival. Avoiding attachment to fleeting highs is sometimes safer than risking disappointment or harm.
Meet Anna, a 32-year-old graphic designer whose world once overflowed with color and creativity. Painting used to feel like breathing, each brushstroke a heartbeat of joy. But after months of a deep, creeping depression, something had shifted. She would sit in front of a blank canvas, brush in hand, and the colors seemed hollow, the act mechanical, as if she were performing a ritual rather than creating art. Music she adored felt like static, laughter from friends echoed without warmth, and even birthdays passed like muted shadows on a wall. Anna wasn't sad in the traditional sense. She wasn't consumed by sorrow or grief. Instead, the very circuits in her brain that once signaled reward, pleasure, and connection had dimmed, leaving her to navigate life in shades of gray, going through motions that once thrilled her, but now offered no satisfaction. What Anna was experiencing has a name: Anhedonia. This is not simply being sad or down. It is the brain's inability to experience pleasure from activities that should naturally feel rewarding. Eating, socializing, creative expression, music, touch, intimacy, all of these experiences, which once sparked delight or excitement, become muted or absent entirely. Anhedonia is a core feature of depression, but also appears in schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, PTSD, Parkinson's disease, and even after chronic stress or trauma. It is a condition in which the world continues externally, colorful and active, yet internally the individual feels muted, detached, and emotionally disconnected. Patients with anhedonia often describe their experiences as flat, hollow, or behind a glass. They recognize intellectually what should be pleasurable, but the emotional signals never arrive. They might attend social gatherings, smile, laugh, or perform hobbies, yet internally it feels mechanical or empty. Some report that even food tastes like nothing. It is critical to distinguish anhedonia from ordinary sadness. Sadness is an emotion, often in response to a specific loss or event, and it usually comes with tears, tension, or a heavy heart. Anhedonia, in contrast, is not about feeling bad. It is about feeling nothing. Life is not painful in the same way. It is muted, dull, and unresponsive. The reason this happens is a combination of neurobiological and psychological processes. In a healthy brain, the mesolimbic dopamine pathway, stretching from the ventral tegmental area to the nucleus accumbens, regulates anticipation, motivation, and the pursuit of rewarding experiences. Opioid and serotonin systems modulate the actual enjoyment of those experiences. In anhedonia, these pathways are disrupted. Dopamine signaling weakens, so the brain fails to want pleasure. Opioids and other neuromodulators falter, so the brain cannot like it when it happens. The path forward involves rekindling these muted circuits through a combination of pharmacological, psychological, and lifestyle interventions. Medications like antidepressants can partially restore chemical balance. Psychotherapy, particularly cognitive behavioral approaches and behavioral activation, helping patients retrain the brain to anticipate and experience pleasure. Lifestyle interventions, exercise, mindfulness, and gradual social reintegration also strengthen neural pathways and reward processing. Anhedonia is a paradox. Life continues, colors, sounds, and relationships exist, yet the individual perceives none of it as rewarding. It is both a survival mechanism and a profound neurological challenge, a dimming of the brain's pleasure lights that leaves patients navigating a world full of motion but devoid of joy. And yet, with the right interventions, chemical, behavioral, and social, those lights can flicker back to life, and patients can slowly rediscover that the world, after all, can still be felt.